Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull Guide, and in today's video, part one of Crypto AI set to rise, with the focus on artificial liquid intelligence, ticker symbol ALI. If you appreciate the content, make sure to click the bell icon for notifications, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to hit that bell icon for notifications. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and TradingView. One word, Crypto Bull Guide. Just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm sharing is financial advice. I'm simply here to educate and to share chart knowledge. When it comes to personal financial decisions, we're all big boys and big girls, right? So you can make your own. With that being said, let's get into it. This is ALI on the 12-hour time frame. Now, one of the things to keep in mind as we're assessing price action here is that we don't have a lot of historical price information. So I find the 12-hour chart to be a very useful chart in this situation. You can see here the purple is the 50 and the pink is the 200. We had a golden cross here back in, looks like about mid-January. Ever since then, one of the things I want you to keep in mind, we had a parabolic rise in price from just about 1 penny all the way up to about 10 cents. So we've already done a 10x, okay? It's been following this purple line here. All right, and if we take a look at the price indicators, you can see the MACD is beginning to curl down, the RSI is beginning to curl down. So we'll really want to watch for signs for this MACD to begin to curl back up, the blue to start to kind of level out and shift upwards, and we want to get across there. And we also want the RSI to cross upwards. But let's focus in on price action. So what are some key levels of price confluence that we should be paying attention to? Well, I have several green lines, and this one actually recently broke, so we're going to tune it. Red is for resistance, and green is for support. Three main areas here that I'm focusing on beyond the moving averages. Now, as long as price action stays above moving averages, those moving averages are going to act as support. It's only when we fall below that they then act as resistance, okay? So the 50 and the 200 will be areas of support that we'll want to watch for, and most closely the 50, since you can see these price wicks here. We've wicked it once, we've wicked it twice. Since getting above it, will we wick a third time? Okay, so something to keep in mind. But three main areas of price confluence I want you guys to keep in mind. 4.7 cents, okay, 4 cents, and 3.2 cents. So this entire zone right in here should act as an area of support if we're getting strong price action, okay? The other thing to keep in mind here is we could be in the middle of forming somewhat of a falling wedge. Price action is presenting a pretty good buy opportunity today. I think we're down around 11%. This is a smaller market cap. It's sitting around 220. So you're going to have volatile swings like this. Just like on the way up, same thing on the way down. All right. We could be getting some sort of eventually a falling wedge. We'll have to see how price plays out here, but you could see something along the lines of this. We're just going to have to allow price to develop, but see how it's wide up here, and then we start getting narrow in here and eventually potentially break up. So something to keep an eye on. But and in terms of the major areas of resistance we're going to want to watch for on the way up, you can see about 6.1 cents is an area. We have an area, there's not a whole lot of price confluence up here. It's one of the most beautiful things. If we actually zoom out a 3-day, you can see once we actually break around this area here, we should stick an area of resistance right here. Once we break around 9 cents, clear sailing towards 13.7 cents and 20 cents, which is our prior all-time high. Now, the thumbnail, which is not clickbait, never clickbait on this channel, I am hypothesizing that it's very possible for ALI to do around a 10x over the shorter term here. So how did I come up with that 10x projection? We're going to take a look at Alchemy Finance, which is, by the way, having very nice several weeks, and why you should remain patient with your holdings, something that I've hit on my channel multiple times. As you can see here for Alchemy Finance, we had a large rise up in price, right, as soon as price data became available. And then we sort of, let me draw this here so you can see it. We had a huge meteoric rise in price, and then we kind of drifted down, right? And then we had another shift up. What I did was, okay, I said, okay, well, how could we have potentially projected that we hit 20 cents? The first thing I did was I took a fib retracement from the top here to the bottom here, And I noted that the top of our first wave one movement hit all the way up at the 1.272 extension, right? This is at 17 cents, as you can see here, and we went all the way up to 20 cents, all right? So a little bit above, about 15% above there. As you can see on ALI, we have a similar sort of movement. We had a meteoric rise in price, huge downfall, and now we're starting to trend up. So I'm hypothesizing, because the price action is very immature as it once was on Alchemy Finance, I am hypothesizing that the violent sharp movement up that we are most likely going to see will hit a level similar to Alchemy Finance. And if we do that at the 1.272 extension here, based on this fib retracement from the top to the bottom, we would hit around 53 cents. Now, based on today's price action, where we're sitting at, yes, it would hit 53 cents, but based on today's current price action of 5.5 cents, that would be just under a 10x. The second way that I looked at Alchemy Finance was, I said, okay, well, if we actually do a trend-based fib extension from the bottom to the top all the way, and we retraced all the way to the bottom here, you can see that we actually basically perfectly hit a 3.618 fib extension. Okay, this isn't typically how you would draw a trend-based fib extension, but again, I am trying to find creative ways to take an educated guess, okay, an educated view on where we could potentially hit. And I'm using a prior cryptocurrency project that had immature price data with a similar price pattern to derive these price targets. I hope that makes sense. So in this case, if we look at this trend-based fib extension, we can see we hit the 3.618 fib extension perfectly, pretty much perfectly. We hit 20 cents. The top here was at 19.98 cents, and the 3.618 is at 20.33 cents, okay? If we did the same thing, and we took from the bottom to the top to the bottom, and we look at the 3.618, look what that puts us, 65 cents, which is more than a 10x from today's 5.5 cents, right? So I think it is very reasonable to assume, especially, you can see the narrative shift, which is why I'm doing a short series on some of these crypto AI plays. There's a lot of momentum currently behind this narrative, okay? A lot of dollars coming behind this and a lot of hype, right? So if we used this 53 cents and this 65 cents as sort of a price range, you're talking about a 10 to 12x, right? Somewhere between 53 to 65 cents, I think, is reasonable to assume before we get some sort of major correction and then continued price upwards. So keep an eye out for the first crypto AI project that I am bringing to your attention, ticker symbol ALI, Artificial Liquid Intelligence. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon for the notifications. And until next time, spread awareness, carry the education forward.
So what you gonna do, fiat dollar, on Crypto Bull God and his crypto maniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market run wild on you?